Welcome back to the Jinx podcast, my fellow fangirls and fanboys. Today we're diving into chapter 2 of the series, and oh my gosh, things are getting pretty intense here. I can barely contain my excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest and wildest yaoi podcast on the planet. Get ready to fan yourself because things are about to get steamy. That's right, it's time for Zealed Fujoshi, the show that's all about yaoi manga. I am Cece, your host, the ultimate Fujoshi, who's always on the hunt for the hottest and juiciest and most thrilling yaoi manga out there. I've read it all, and I'm not afraid to share my honest and unfiltered thoughts with you. From sweet and romantic love stories to spicy and steamy tales, I got you covered. My reviews are not only informative but also hilarious. So you can expect to laugh your socks off while I spill the tea on your favorite yaoi manga. But before we start, this podcast is explicit. We'll be discussing mature themes, explicit themes, and all things that makes yaoi manga so delicious. So if you're not comfortable with that, it's probably best you tune out now. Let's get one thing clear though. Spoiler alert, I am not afraid to dish out spoilers. So if you haven't read the manga we're talking about, you might want to skip this episode. But if you're brave enough to join us, we promise to make it worth your while. If you're ready to join us on this spicy adventure, grab a cold drink and a cozy blanket and get ready to join me on this wild ride of passion, laughter, and all things yaoi. Welcome to Zealed Fujoshi. So we start off with Dan heading to Jaekyung's home. And let me tell you, this home is huge. But that's not even the most interesting part. As soon as Dan enters, or he's about to enter the house, he overhears Jaekyung having an argument with some unknown man who's trying to put his clothes on. And get this, the man seems to be Jaekyung's partner. But wait, it gets even juicier. Jaekyung just broke up with this guy, and this unknown man is not taking it well. This man is promising to always please Joo Jaekyung just so that Jaekyung will not break up with him. Talk about drama. But as the night is going on, and let's just say that Jaekyung noticed that Kim Dan is right in front of the door. He basically kicked this unknown man out of his home and invites Kim Dan inside. And this unknown man starts to give us a hint that there's some sort of or I guess there's a reason why this series is called a Jinx, but there's a reason why Jaekyung is doing this right before the night before his match. And it seems like this guy is cursing Jaekyung, that he hopes that Jaekyung would lose his match tomorrow. And get this, basically this unknown man is spilling to Kim Dan that Jaekyung is gay. We're reading a yaoi series here, so that's pretty obvious. But Jaekyung says, or at least explains to Kim Dan, that this whole thing with having a partner right before his match is part of his routine to fix his so-called jinx. Apparently, if he doesn't have a satisfying night before his match, he's definitely going to lose his MMA match. Who knew that could be a thing? But take a turn when everything takes a big turn. Let's just say it like that. When this Jaekyung asked him Dan if Dan wants to be his partner for the night. And of course, this is something that's really new to Kim Dan because remember, he's a physical therapist. And he finds it really weird. I guess Kim Dan finds it really weird that Jaekyung has this weird jinx mentality that he does before his matches. But aside from that, it seems like Kim Dan doesn't really do the whole I don't think he's interested with men. Let's just say it like that. Of course, Kim Dan thinks it's strange, but he tries to deny it because remember, Kim Dan needs a client. He needs his VIP client. So he tries to act nice by saying like it's not weird that Jaekyung does this whole jinx thing right before his matches. Because remember, he wants Jaekyung to be his VIP client. But basically Jaekyung is asking Dan if Dan would be interested in doing it with him. And Kim Dan, being the professional that he is, just a physical therapist and all, doesn't want to do anything personal with his client, of course. But Joo Jaekyung doesn't take no for an answer, easily at least, and tells Kim Dan that if Dan is not interested, he can just leave and he will not get the $5,000 that was promised on the phone. Now, at this point, Kim Dan feels like it's all a plot because he really thought that he was going for this late night trip to do some physical therapy, massage, or what do they call it? The professional term, I keep forgetting that. Realignment or something. Since Jaekyung has a match the next day. But nope, Jaekyung has a different therapy session in mind. And remember, Kim Dan is desperate for this money for, all of the debt that he has to pay. I mean, at the end of this whole thing, he agrees to do it if Jaekyung confirms that he will really get paid $5,000 because a part of Kim Dan still thinks that it's all a plot. I mean, what's going to happen next? I mean, it's kind of given away already by the Lezhin summary. We already know, even if I were to ask, will Kim Dan actually go through with it? We already know he will. We don't know what drama will happen next though. I feel like Kim Dan is really not up for this whole thing, but this is Mingwa that we're talking about here, and angst is his forte. Anyway, that's it for chapter 2 of Jinx. Make sure to stay tuned for the next chapter for more drama, I guess, and excitement, maybe. Until then, this is your fangirl signing off. Attention to all yaoi manga lovers out there. Are you a talented individual with a passion for all things Fujoshi? If so, Zealed Fujoshi wants you. We're on the hunt for a team member to join our passionate and hilarious crew. If you have a knack for reviewing yaoi manga, a love for all things spicy and steamy, and a desire to share your opinion with the world, then we want to hear from you. Join our team and help us spread the Fujoshi spirit to all corners of the world. Whether you're a writer, editor, or a social media guru, we want your talent and expertise to take Zealed Fujoshi to the next level. So, if you're ready to embark on this exciting journey with us, reach out to us in the description below and let's make magic happen. Join the Zealed Fujoshi team today. Let's show the world what the Fujoshi spirit is all about. And that's a wrap. Fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshis, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Zealed Fujoshi, where we dished out all the hottest and juiciest yaoi manga. Remember to follow me on social media where I share even more yaoi goodness and behind the scenes content. And if you're loving the manga I am reviewing, don't forget to support the author, creator by purchasing their work and spreading the word to your fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshi friends. Thanks for tuning in, Zealed Fujoshi, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Until then, keep the Fujoshi spirit alive.